Hello and welcome to HLR. It's round 8 around France in our season, our 6th season of racing on F1 2021. My name is Dave. I'll be calling the action for you this week. This week we are half an hour earlier because of the real life Canadian Grand Prix qualifying. So qualifying session is just getting underway, but before that we will take you through this Circuit Paul Ricard, 3.6 mile track near Le Castellet. First held the French Grand Prix in 1906, 15 turns, and we will be doing 27 laps around this circuit. And if you don't know what this circuit looks like, where have you been? But here is bit of a hot lap video for you to get your teeth into. This is coming down to turn 1. You want to brake somewhere near the 50-meter board and then try not to take too much curb. Very easy to invalidate through there. Down into this section now, farthest point away from the start finish straight. You want to hug that curb on the inside. Don't take too much of this one or much of that one on the outside. And then it's difficult traction in gear 4, running up for the first of the long back straights. Your DRS zone will be here, so look out for some passes coming down into this chicane here. A quick left and a right, and then a left again. Easy to spin the car on traction there, so be careful and look out for that as you're going around. And then to this fast sweeping right-hander, and then into, I think, the funnest corner on the track. Just sling it in, shift down to maybe 5th or 4th, depending on what it is. And then this off-camber corner is trickier than it looks. You don't want to take too much curb on the inside, otherwise that will upset the car. And then into the final few turns now. Pit lane is on your right. And then the last turn now, turn 15, and yeah, easy to invalidate there as well. And then it's all about the traction to the line, and that is a lap of French Grand Prix. Last time out we had a bit of a streaming issue, and we lost the last 3 or 4 laps of the Grand Prix. These are the results. So Harjay ended up overtaking JoshGillie. JoshGillie, I think, grabbed 3-second penalty, or he messed up some point on the lap, and Harjay overtook him on the very last lap of the race, and the gap between them only 0.05 of a second. So JoshGillie couldn't quite make up the 25 points lost to Beastie last time, the previous time out in Belgium, but he's managed to claw the gap back. So those were the results last time out, because we didn't get those on stream sadly. And these are the standings at the moment. VRA Beastie is currently in the lead, still 112 points. JoshGillie 105, only 7 points behind. Then Harjay has opened up the gap over Little Chaz and the rest of the field to cement 3rd place, and then it's pretty tight going down all the way to 9th place from 4th. Little Chaz, Jack Mark, Gushek, KJ Fox, Nomad and Baggins, all separated by like 10, 12, 13 points, I think, something like that. And then Ace Elusive rounding out the top 10. And our Constructors Championship is even tighter. Alfa Romeo and Williams only separated by 4 points, and there was only 3 races left to go, including this one, so it's all to play for in the Constructors as well. Ferrari now putting a firm hold, and lots of people's favourites pre-season are clawing back the gap that they lost at the start of the season. They're up to 3rd with 75. And then Alpine, AlphaTauri only separated by 1 point. And then a bit further down, there's a nice battle between Aston Martin, Red Bull and Haas. Haas overtook McLaren last week in the standings, which is good for them. And Mercedes still stuck on 6 points. So that's a quick rundown of last week, what happened last week, and this week, what you can expect. So we will get into qualifying now. And let's pull up a bit of telemetry. So there we go. That was a nice quick rundown. Let me know in the chat. We've already got someone saying cheering for Resgo. Currently in third place, 134.1. JoshGillie is currently in the lead. Let's see who's on the lap. Nomad. It looks like Nomad. We just jumped on board in enough time with Nomad spinning and waiting for someone to come through. So Nomad not having a great time. Little Chaz is already invalidated. LRT Danny, where is he on the lap? Closing. Kip the Hippo is starting a lap. KJ Fox just coming across to finish a lap. So let's jump on board with KJ Fox as he crosses the line and sticks it on provisional pole 129.5. That's pretty good going. Indeed, I just realised we've still got the music up, so I'll just bring that down there. Let me know in the chat if there's any audio issues, or if I've left music playing, or whatever it is, or if the game's too quiet, or too loud. That'd be great. As we've just seen Danny go fastest, so 129.0. The times are tumbling downwards as people get quicker. And Nomad just joining in with another spin there for Nomad. Not normally in the McLaren. Normally is in the Red Bull. So let's have a look. Kip the Hippo substituting for RJ, I believe, or Staffy, one of the two this week. What the Ferrari driver can do through the final corner now. And heading across the line. DRS wide open. Let's see how this looks. 131.0, enough for fifth currently, but only 6 people have set a time. Looks like Chaz is going to be next up to finish a lap, just coming through the final turn. And across the line goes fifth, 130.5. We do have a little yellow flag out in Sector 3. That's for Resgo, I think. Oh no, it's for somebody else. Danny. It would be for Danny, who's coming into the pit. Pause Neon. Where are we? Looks like Baggins coming around to finish next. Coming around on the medium tyre. It's going to be interesting on strategy this race. The soft tyres really do not last very well around this track. Maybe 5 or 6 laps if you're good at conserving them. So you will see most people opt for to start the race on the medium compound tyre because you're not able to start on the hard compound tyre. You're not able to qualify on the hard. So mediums there. For Baggins, 130.5, only a whisker shy of Beastie's time. So Baggins looks to be in good, looks to have some good pace currently, or Beastie does not. We will see. Currently a second and a half behind Danny, and I have to imagine that Beastie's got a bit more time in him than that. Gushek, his teammates on a lap. Coming through the final sector, a little bit of traffic, but out of the way, nice and easy. It's coming through the penultimate turn and now the final turn, and there's a little bit of a traffic in front, but it shouldn't bother him too much. Quite a way up the line, crosses the line and goes 9th for the 131.1, and that is on the soft tyres. And that was a close call with the Alpine of maybe KJ Fox. Yeah, KJ Fox coming out of the pit, so that was a pretty close encounter there. Where's Fizzbungle? Fizzbungle just started their lap. Johan. We'll jump on board with Johan with the other Alpine. DRS wide open down the first of the back straights. It's actually one whole straight, still named the same. It's just broken up by this chicane, which is one of the newer additions to this circuit for Formula One, and looks like it isn't just invalidated around that chicane, and it's very easy to do, like we said earlier on the track guide. So and Fizzbungle also invalidating as well, so not too many people on a valid lap at the moment. Quite a lot of people have set lap times. What's JoshGillie doing? Is he setting another time? VRA Beastie goes fastest. Is he on the soft tires? He is, so that's a bold strategy move from Beastie, starting on those soft tires. Could be opting for a 2-stop strategy. It's his championship rival, and he's 7 points behind in the championship. Crosses the line and puts it on pole. 128.6. Those times are tumbling down as this track is starting to rubber in, and people are switching off of the mediums and onto the soft tires. So the Williams driver with the upper hand over Beastie, and will definitely need to finish ahead of Beastie if he was within, if he wants to keep within striking distance for the championship. Even if he finishes first and Beastie finishes second, that will be good points gained for the championship for Josh. Nomad yet to set time. Let's see how the McLaren's done. We've already seen him spin a couple of times. Hopefully this is not a commentator's curse and he doesn't do it again. Looking just a little bit twitchy through that off-cambered corner there. They do all have names. Most of the turns have names, but I'm not the best at pronouncing them, so I'm not even going to try. It comes out of turn 15, last turn. DRS wide open. To cross the line, what does he do? 4th place, 129.3 for Nomad, who is in the McLaren this week. Little Chaz, what's he up to? He's in this gaggle of cars. Just there we see Nomad just peeling off to the other side. Little Chaz, bright yellow helmet, and he's just invalidated, trying to take just a little bit too much curb. You can gain a lot of time if you take a lot of that curb, but sadly, not quite enough. And then no one quite knows who to let through there, so everyone's just kind of going slow or going fast. Not quite sure what to do. So I think we're just waiting for somebody to go on a proper lap. We have Little Chaz. It's invalidated. Nomad's just set times. He's probably coming in. And we've got quite a few drivers out on the out laps at the moment. Who's coming to start a lap soon? Might be KJ Fox. Yeah, we'll jump on board with KJ Fox. Had a fantastic race in Belgium. Showed good pace in Austria, but got taken out sadly, and DNF'd from Austria, coming through the first couple of turns, looking mighty fast on the track cameras there, and it is pretty fast through that section, and just a little bit too much of that curb taken on the inside, and that is a lap invalidated for him. We'll jump on board with Danny then, who is in 3rd. Not done too many races this season, looking to help get Mercedes off the bottom of the Constructors' Championship. Looks like that was a bit of a purple sector. It just flashed purple there for a sec, so looks like this could be a fast lap so far. Through the chicane, not too much curb there taken from the Mercedes driver, and now on the second part of that straight we'll want to be all the way over to the left, take as much speed through this sweeping corners. And we see AJ Fox getting out of the way. Good sportsmanship there. And through this, it's like a hairpin. It always comes back. It comes back on itself, but it's such a fast corner. You get to fling the car in, and it's a lot of fun to drive, but it also takes a lot out of your left tyres. So later in the race, as tyres get worn, Expect to see a couple of incidents then through there. Danny crosses the line, improves to second, but still JoshGillie's time, a 128.6, still a bit too hard to beat at the moment. But a fast final sector from Danny up to second, a 128.8, 10th faster than Beastie. As we see Goose Shake going to 9th, I just saw on the camera. And Jack Mack just starting now. So Jack Mack finished 3rd last week. Do apologise. Yeah, finished 3rd last week. Jack. Oh no! And that is big contact there. Just lost it through the first turn. Tried to take too much curb, upset the car, and he is straight into a wall. And that car is not having a good time there. So Jack Mack, yet to set time, will start probably from the back of the grid. So not the best stop, not the best outcome for Jack Mack, and that is not good. So Fizz Bungle is on an out lap. Prime Waldo is on a lap. On the medium tyres, Little Chaz I think is just on an out lap. Ooh, that was Get the Hippo going fast. There, let's come back to him a little bit later. Let's see what Fine Waldo does on the medium tyres. Can he improve up from 13th? It does, up to 7th, a 130.4. But I'm keen to see Kip the Hippo because it looked like he was on a pretty good lap. He's 3/10 up on his time so far. So, what can the Ferrari driver do? Johan retiring from the session. And so same with Paul's Neon. So Johan happy with those times. Danny is also happy with his time in second. So not going to go and try and beat that fastest lap time. Feeling happy with that. You see a yellow flag for Kip the Hippo. And Kip the Hippo managing slowing down to not set a lap time on those soft tires. So it looks like the Hippo wants to start on those medium tires. Maybe he wants to start on the hard tires because he's in 11th at the moment, so he will have the free choice come the race. Only driver yet to set a lap time who is still on track is Fizz Bungle, but he is invalidated. He's about to start a new lap. It's like Beastie is just about to start a lap as well. So let's have a look. See Nomad's on the chat. 2/10 up on his time so far. What can he do to improve? Can he keep that going? No, 6th, 129.3. Right. Kip the Hippo. Invalidated. KJ Fox. Looks like he is on a lap. 3/10 up so far. Oh. See Kip the Hippo just making sure he is out of the way, well off the track. The Alpine driver to set clean lap time. Coming through the penultimate corner now. And through turn 15. A little bit away from the apex there. Just a little bit of understeer. Will that affect his time too much, or will he still be able to improve? He does improve up to 5th. 129.2. Let's find Fizz Bungle, because Fizz Bungle is next to complete a lap. And then we might have... Oh no, I think somebody else. Little Chaz afterwards. So let's see where Fizz Bungle can go. Not set a lap time yet. Has to keep it clean through the final turn. What can the Red Bull driver do? Oh, no, so close to invalidating there, but manages to keep it on the racetrack and doesn't want to set a lap time. Helpful. So little Chaz, what will little Chaz do? He's not wanting to set a lap time either. Going very slow across the line. So, as we predicted earlier on, a lot of strategy is being had here. People not wanting to set times on the softer tyres. They just want to see how fast they can go. And JoshGillie will be on pole position for the French Grand Prix. And crucially, there is a car in between Josh and Beastie, the championship leader so far. So we are just waiting for everyone who's on track to either retire or come into the pits, and we can get our final classification for qualifying. So there we go. There's our final qualifying standings. JoshGillie on pole position. Alongside him on the front row, LRT Danny, VRA Beastie, and Johan in the on the second row. On the third row, KJ Fox from Baggins, Nomad from Little Chaz on the fourth row, and on the fifth row, Find Waldo. Good to see him back on tracks. And Gushek, Find Waldo on the mediums. Be starting on the mediums. Everyone else around him in the top 10 will be starting on the soft tyres. That could be crucial for strategy in the race. We will see. So the predicted time for starting our race will be 19:26, as long as no one readies up. So here are here's the reminder of the drivers' standings whilst we are waiting. And I'll just take a quick voice break and I'll be back with you very soon. Right, there we go. I've had a bit of a break, bit of a drink, and the race shall be starting very soon. There we go. Someone is readied up now, which is Beastie, so we will be on track in about 20 seconds or so. It's going to be a good race, I think, this one. French Grand Prix in real life doesn't really provide much excitement in real life, not really. But on the Formula One games, you tend to see some pretty close racing, side-by-side racing, lots of moves into some of the chicanes and tight turns. So it should be a good race. And strategy is going to be key here. It's possible to do a one-stop if you're doing soft, if you're doing medium to hard or hard to medium. If you've started on the softs, probably looking like two-stop race or trying to eke out as much as you can on the hard compound tyres. Lots of runoff here, so the chance of a safety car is going to be considerably less than normal. So that's what you can expect. Let's see what tyres people are starting on there. No one deciding to go all the hard tyres as of yet. The whole top 10 all started on the softs, except for Find Waldo, who managed to qualify on the mediums, and then from 11th to 15th, as expected. Keep the Hippo, Pause Neon, Red Goat, Fizzbongo, and Jack Mac all opting for the medium tyres, so they're all on track to do a one-stop. The rest of the runners who are starting on the softs, that will be considerably difficult. Predicted pit stop strategy there from the game says a two-stop race. You can do it in one if you start on the right tyres, or if you get very fortuitous when it comes to track conditions, weather, and the amount of safety cars. So we will have to see what happens. Let's pop the main screen on. And we will bring the music down as JoshGillie leads them around to start the Grand Prix. That's fine. Okay. So JoshGillie leading them up to grid positions and taking their place on the grid. Have a look. So Jack Mac at the back, JoshGillie at the front, everyone else sandwiched between two Williams cars, and the lights will be coming on for the race. 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are racing in France. Looks like Danny's got a really good start alongside JoshGillie. Will he be able to get a move around the outside? They're going side by side into turn 1. Danny has the inside line for turn 2. And Danny's just a little bit ahead, but JoshGillie coming back through now. Danny's still on the inside, side by side racing for the lead. Beastie's fallen down to 4th and is getting pressure from KJ Fox in the second of the Alpines, and JoshGillie has managed to keep Danny at bay for now. But will Danny have a look down into the chicane of Montreal chicane? Will he go down? No. JoshGillie managing to stay ahead as we've got a place change a bit further back. Oh, we've had KJ Fox has had a spin around, and that has brought him right down to the back. Kip the Hippo has lost it somewhere. We don't know where he is or what's happened, but Kip the Hippo is out of this race. Fizzbongo and Goose having a spin there. And Fizzbongo and Resco and Fine Mordo running their way up. Nomad and Little Chaz making his way up into 6th. It's all happening here and trying to find the gaps as they happen. And there's a nice queue here behind Fizzbongo. Gap at the front is 0.6 of a second. Nomad making his way up past Little Chaz So little Chaz coming into the pit. No, sorry, Nomad coming into the pit. Same with Jack Mack. As JoshGillie was the fastest lap of the race, and then Baggins up to 5th as well. So, gosh, a lot of action here, and I've barely been able to keep up. So I do apologise for a bit of mess, but here we go. So, interesting to see these guys following closely. Danny's still within DRS range of Josh, and we want to stay there to try and get DRS on the next lap, because that's when DRS will be enabled. Bisbungle looks like he's closing the gap on Fine Waldo as he's coming up to Montreal's chicane through turn 9, heading up the second part of the Mistral Straight to turn 10. So things is? I don't know. Oh, crucially, Josh has managed to pull ahead 1.3 seconds now, the gap to LRT Danny in second. Oh, Fisbungle having a look there at the inside of Fine Waldo. Both of these guys on the medium compound tyres. Might not want to do a lot of fighting, because they'll probably be going for that one-stop strategy as JoshGillie sets the fastest lap of the race, continuing to open the gap, and Fisbungle manages to get ahead of Fine Waldo on the home straight and makes way up into 7th, splitting the AlphaTauri drivers of Little Chaz and Fine Waldo. Currently 3.2 seconds back on Chaz, and so a little bit of a way to make up. We might be able to close it down. Let's have a look at Paul's Neon on the medium tyres. Ahead of him, KJ Fox, who's already got some time penalties, running just a lot wide, actually. I was going to say a little bit, but that's a lot wide. Through there. And Paul's is going to have DRS. Not much ERS at all, only 5% left, but comes up alongside into the chicane and manages to get ahead of KJ Fox. So Paul's Neon up, and KJ Fox looks he had a good run out of that chicane and has managed to make his way past. So a fantastic move there. KJ Fox saying, "No, I'm not finished with this position," and making his way back up. But how long will those soft tyres last? How long will he be able to have that tyre advantage over Paul's Neon? It's not going to be long until those soft tyres start to go off and the medium runners will have the advantage, and then we will see what happens there. Pause is not being dropped there. Oh, look, he is dropped. No, KJ Fox is coming to the pit, so KJ Fox has had enough of those tyres, is coming into the pits, and that is the first of the soft runners who were running at the front, who are coming on to new tyres and a new wing. So so he's coming in he had a bit of damage there, so coming in and taking the opportunity to put some fresh boots on the car. Paul's Neon's dropping down, looks like he's had a moment and is back up and running again, and has fallen down to 11th. So all that hard work he was doing fighting with KJ Fox all undone in a moment. A little incident there. And Fine Waldo is not dropped off the back of Fisbungle, really. Fizz hasn't been able to pull away from him and is still within half a second. I've just seen there's a very small gap there for Johan, a battle at the front, so we'll jump on board with these guys as JoshGillie is streaking away now, 2.6 seconds ahead of this battle, and second to 5th, all just covered by maybe a second and a half, maybe even less, all really close to each other. You can all see them there, all 4 of them in one shot, and they're all going to have DRS on Danny, and Danny is going to want to put up a fight into turn 1. Alpine of Johan and Beastie wanted to trying to sneak through as well, but looks like Beastie's had an incident, so it looks like a bit of contact there, maybe just a little bit greedy, trying to force that move and not enough space there to go 3 wide, and Beastie suffers the consequences of that and drops down. But Danny is still on the back of Johan. Johan hasn't managed to get away from him as of yet, and he will have the DRS. Johan moving defensive onto the inside. Which way will Danny go? Does he make a dive up the inside? No, he doesn't. He stays behind for now. 49% of VRS still left for him, and will want to be sticking within DRS to have a go. Next DRS activation point is just as we start a new lap through the between the penultimate and last corners. 3.7 now seconds the gap between JoshGillie and Johan, so all of this fighting is allowing JoshGillie just to streak ahead, and he carries on for another lap. Doesn't come into the pits yet. Do any of these guys jump into the pits? It looks like Chaz and Beastie have come into the pits now, and Danny is looking to make a move. Is he? No, he's just sticking behind for now. Coming down into turn 3 now, hotel curve. And Johan picked up some penalties, so that's advantage for Danny at the moment, because he doesn't have any penalties, but you don't want to be cutting too many of those corners, otherwise you will be picking up some of those penalties. And Baggins is still on the back of this group as well, so Baggins looking to have decent pace in the Haas, as we see a move from Danny up the inside and back up into second now. And all of this fighting, as we said, JoshGillie is streaking away with it. 4.2 seconds now the gap. A nice healthy margin should something go wrong, and Josh will not be sad about that at all. But this is a fantastic battle, three-way battle for second place. Beastie, I've just seen, is back in 11th after that pit stop now, back into 11th, just coming up on the back of his teammate. Will he be letting him through? Ooh, maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. Beastie running wide on that turn, but managing to keep that place for now. So Baggins and Feinwalder are in the pits, and that has released Fizzbungle now. Fizzbungle started on these medium tyres, is up into 4th now, so a decent return on managing to qualify in the top 10 on those medium tyres. Up into 4th, we'll have to see where he comes out when he takes his pit stop. But that is only going to be a good thing for him, as the gap to the leader from these two, 5.2 seconds, as Johan goes up the inside with DRS and makes that place. So a good overtake there, assisted by DRS, and these guys are just trading places now from DRS zone to DRS zone. And so lots of overtakes from these two, which is good to see. And you have to be thinking some of these guys on the soft tyres will want to be coming in soon. Let's have a look with JoshGillie. That's not Josh. There he is. There's Josh. And Josh comes into the pits then. So will Johan and Danny come in as well? Johan does and Danny goes. So all top 3 of these guys come in. So which tyres will they put on? There's some hard tyres there for somebody, and that's the hard tyres going on for Danny. So Danny's gone for the hard tyres, so has Johan. What will Josh do? Josh has gone for the hard tyres as well, so they're differing strategies, and Fizzbungle has taken the lead. So starting on those medium compound tyres has allowed Fizzbungle to filter all the way to the front, and currently now has an 8-second lead over Josh. But Josh, those tyres are, they may be slower, but they will come good pretty soon. So Fizzbungle, decent there for him. And Baggins, crucially, came in a lap earlier than these guys for the medium compound tyres. And looks like that undercut has worked because he's managed to jump both Johan and Danny. So good work there from the hat of Baggins, making his way up into a net second place. After Fizzbungle comes in for tyres because he's yet to make a pit stop. Let's have a look further down the grid. Beastie, my word, Beastie is still in 13th, is 20 seconds off Fine Waldo. We don't know what's happened to Beastie because we've been following the battle at the lead at the top end of the grid. But Beastie not having a good race at all. And Josh will be very happy about this. Any points gained over Beastie will be much appreciated from the Williams driver. So we're on lap 9 of 27. The leader is now, these guys will just be starting lap 9 now. Pretty close between Pause, Neon and Resgo, Nomad, as Resgo comes into the pits for the second time, putting on those hard compound tyres. So looking to go till the end of the race on those tyres. Jack Mack started in 15th right at the back, had an incident in qualifying, managed to work his way up into 10th. Up 5 positions. So far, the big winner at the moment is Fizzbungle, as we've said. Started 13th, 14th, and has made 13 places. Baggins has made 3 places. Little Chaz has made 2. Pause Neon has made 4, and Resco's up 1. Beastie, the biggest points place drop from the start of the race, down 10. But there is plenty of time in this race to make up that gap, so we will have to see what's going on. Let's have a look at the stop situation as we see Fizzbungle comes into the pit. So time is now to come off those medium compound tyres. Where will Fizzbungle filter out? It looks like he's back on the mediums, so it looks like Fizzbungle is doing a 2-strop, and he's gone medium, and he's come out in 10th place, just behind Jack Mack. So the only driver yet to make a stop is Pause Neon. You see Jack Mack picks up another 3-second time penalty. There's the penalty situation. There's 6 in total for Jack Mack now. So Josh is in the lead of this race, 4 seconds ahead of Baggins, who is 2 seconds ahead of Johan, and Danny is still right on the back of them. And Fizzbungle making a move on Jack Mack, we saw there. So making those fresher tyres work to his advantage, and next up the road for him will be KJ Fox, who is close on the back of Pause Neon, and those tyres will be, oh, I don't know if there was contact there, oh, and he's gone as well, and he's hit the wall. So KJ Fox having a moment there, and I don't know if KJ Fox touched Pause Neon at all, but Pause Neon went around. He'll probably be coming into the pits. No, he won't, so he's carrying on. No damage there, and no damage to the tyres or the car, so he is carrying on. So these guys carrying on, but a little coming together between those 2 drivers has meant that Jack Mack, Fine Waldo, Fizzbungle have all moved up a couple of places. So it looks like Johan and Danny are still battling at it. Danny just making his way past Johan and up into third. And the gap from Baggins to Josh is still for around 4 seconds, only a couple of tenths added. So it looks like Baggins has got decent pace. So we've seen him there just go out of shot. These guys still nose to tail around this circuit. So as we start lap 12, JoshGillie is in the lead of this race. Started on pole position, managed to keep the position after a big effort to overtake from LRT Danny, but he managed to hold off, and he is currently in the lead of this race. Has just opened the gap to Baggins, who is currently behind by another further 0.2 of a second. Baggins managed to leapfrog the two guys behind, so he was running in fourth, came in a lap before to switch onto the medium tyres from the softs and managed to overtake LRT Danny and LRT Johan. So Baggins up into second place. Currently behind him, is this battle for third. It's been pretty hot for the whole race between Danny and Johan, and Danny a couple of seconds back from Baggins, and the more these guys fight, the more that'll allow Baggins and Josh to get away. So maybe these guys want to start working together to try and close that gap. Now down to 1.9. So there's Johan in fifth place. Little Chaz, 3 seconds of time penalties, currently 3.3 seconds back from battle for third and fourth, but a decent race from Little Chaz so far, as we see Bizbungle just making his way past Nomad, who has fallen down a few places there, and Nomad now coming into the pits. So Fizzbungle now up into sixth, hit the lead of this race by being the only top 10 driver to qualify on the medium tyres. Came in for another set of mediums and has made his way past Jack Mack and Fine Waldo, and KJ Fox came out in like 10th place. It's made his way up to 6th so far, but currently has Jack Mack and Fine Waldo all over the back of him. Let's have a look at this gap. Will the Alpine be able to get past? Not this time around. These guys are going at it, and there we go. So LRT Danny has been given 3 seconds. So both these guys now are equal on time penalties, and that, I think, will make this battle even more intense because they are back to level pegging again. Jack Mack now, will he make a move up the inside of Fizzbung? Is he close enough? Not quite yet. It takes a lot of overspeed to be able to make a move up the inside of that corner. Oh, just a little bit of touch on the back there. Look like from here. Are they okay? Doesn't look like there's any damage on the front wing of the Williams, so that's okay for now. But Fine Waldo will be wanting to stay pretty close to this back, just in case something happens between these two drivers, be able to make up 2 quick positions. But these guys pretty close to each other, only separated by 0.4 of a second, the 3 of them. So this is a good race, good battle there. When you make a move up the inside, no, not close enough yet. Pretty difficult to make moves around here. Some of the places, just the DRS zone, just on that home straight, just doesn't seem to be quite long enough to be able to get a decent amount of overspeed to lunge it up the inside. It really takes a really good exit as well as DRS and a bit of ERS to make your way through into turn 1, and that's exactly what he's got on this straight. DRS and ERS pushed, going to the inside is the Williams. Oh, they touch wheels as he comes past, but no harm done. Doesn't look like there's any damage, and Jack Mack making his way up into 6th place. But Fizzbungle will not be happy with that. A bit of contact as he came through, and Fizzbungle looking to make a move up the inside. Oh, this is brave here into this fast right-hand hairpin. They are still side by side as they head around this off-camber one. Oh, and Jack Mack just managing to keep that place, but Fizzbungle was not happy about it. He wanted that place back. Or maybe having a look up the inside, but not quite enough there. Jack Mack closing the door as they come through the final turn, and now onto the pit straight. DRS will be available for the Red Bull driver, who looks a lot closer and making a move up the inside of Jack Mack and retakes that position again. So Fizzbungle not happy about that move from the Williams driver last lap. Makes his way, doesn't take too long to make his way back past, and Fine Waldo is really close on the back of these guys as well. So Fine Waldo wanting a bit of that action as well, but he is on the harder tyres. It's a slower tyre, but it will last longer. So, and we just seen Fine Waldo there just sliding a little bit on the rear, trying to follow 2 cars in their dirty air. And looks like Fizzbungle is quick enough on this straight, had a better exit to be able to keep that move into the chicane. Looks like Fine Waldo's had a good exit there. Let's jump on board with the AlphaTauri. He's going side by side. Will he be able to stick it up the inside here and keep it flat? It looks like he does. Where is he? He's managed to make that stick. Oh, is he going up the inside? Oh no, just a little bit of moment there for the AlphaTauri. And he just survives, but nearly took 2 places in one, and then had a moment, but has managed to keep that move. So Fine Waldo, decent move there on Jack Mack. He will not be happy about it. Jack Mack did find himself ahead of Fizzbungle, but got past last lap and got past again. So that's 2 places lost on this lap alone for Jack Mack, and Fine Waldo now deciding now is the time to get ahead. DRS open, ERS pushed, and he makes his way past. So he joins his Alpha Tauri teammate, and it looks like he's wanting to build that gap now on the ERS, and he just gets Fizzbungle gets a 3-second time penalty now. So Fine Waldo has the advantage in this group. He has the tyres to last. He's managed to pull out 0.6 of a second over Fizzbungle. So he should be all right going down into these corners. Will Fizzbungle make a late move? Oh, he's making a move up the inside, going side by side, but it's still just not enough. So Fine Waldo managed to get a good exit, build up a big enough gap to stay ahead. Now, will Fine Waldo be able to pull away during these corners? No, it looks like Fizzbungle is fighting back pretty close. He's on the inside. It's not the optimal line in this that corner, and Fine Waldo keeps that position as we see JoshGillie setting the fastest lap of the race. And the gap between him and Baggins now 6.5 seconds, 6.6 now, just seen. So Josh is streaking away and looks to have this race well and truly under control for now. But we have seen Danny and Johan close up the gap. Oh no, and Danny, as we said that, as we cut to Danny, oh no, he's still there. That was somebody else. Or maybe it was Resgoat. We're okay. So Resgoat had an issue. Danny now pretty close to the back of Baggins, I think. Yes, he is. So Danny was able to just drop Johan, and has managed to pull the gap down to the Haas driver of Baggins. So a good effort there for Danny. We'll jump back on board with this battle, I think. So he's just seen Fizzbungle get a 3-second time penalty. Oh no, Fizzbungle's out. What's happened to Fizzbungle? He's safety car is out, so Fizzbungle's had a big accident. Maybe on the exit of this corner here. Let's see if we can see what's happening. Looks like he's on the inside. So maybe it looks like he's had a moment, maybe on the exit of this curb here. As you go on the exit here, sometimes if you take too much curb, you can drop the rear end and go flying into the right hand side barrier. And that looks like what Fizzbungle has done. So a decent race from Fizzbungle ended by a mistake, and we will be seeing these guys come into the pits. I imagine some guys come into the pits. Who's into the pits? Fine Waldo's come into the pits for soft tires. Jack Max come in. So is KJ Fox. A Beastie is coming in for soft tires. Nomad looks like he's coming in for a fresh set of tires. Same with Gushek. Same with Paws. And I imagine Resgoat will probably do the same. But I don't think Josh has. Josh hasn't. Baggins hasn't. Danny hasn't. Johan hasn't. But they have enough of a gap, potentially, to be able to come in to the pit. So let's see if they do that. I imagine they probably will. They don't want to be on hard tyres with the rest of the field on soft, fresh soft tyres. Let's see what they do. Coming into the pit goes Josh. What about Baggins? Yeah, Baggins comes in. I'm sure all of these guys will come in. Danny comes in. And Johan's coming into the pits as well. Has Chaz come into the pits already? I don't know. Let's have a look. Tyres. So Chaz has already come into the pits. Will he be able to get out ahead? No, he's still got the Delta, I think. So Baggins there is out. JoshGillie is out. So these four guys have enough of a gap. Too little Chaz to be able to come into the pits for a fresh set of boots. And interestingly, Danny has gone for the medium tyres. So has little Chaz. The rest of the top 10 are on fresh soft. And we've got Gushek on fresh mediums. Resgo hasn't come into the pits. He's on 9-lap-old hard tyres. That's not going to be good, I don't think. And Paws Neon is on fresh mediums. So the safety car has neutralised this race a little bit. JoshGillie will not be happy about that. He had a decent gap over Baggins. I think it was about 6.5 seconds, if I remember rightly. But JoshGillie is not going to be so happy about that one. And we'll have to build that gap again. One person who will be very happy with this is VRA Beastie, currently dropping points and will lose the lead of the championship if the race ends as it stands. But this safety car will help Beastie catch up to the pack and use that pace that we saw in qualifying to try and make his way through. But it is going to be dangerous coming through the field, and there is every chance that you race a little bit too hard and you have an incident. So he will want to be very, very careful. I think the main goal for Beastie is to finish this race in as high a position as possible, but he needs to finish. He needs to finish. Otherwise, it will be very, very difficult in the final two races of the championship to put up a fight for JoshGillie, who looks like he's got the pace to win the championship this season. But 2.5 races to go. 2 after this one. And Josh is happy at the moment, but it all can change. So it's a good time to ask, as we got a safety car as we're waiting for everyone to catch up. For those of you watching along live on YouTube, thank you for doing so. thank you for cheering on your drivers, and love to have a chat with you in the chat. So do let me know who you think is going to win this race. Do you think JoshGillie has enough pace to be able to stretch out that gap, or do you think Baggins, Danny, Johan will be able to do something about it, maybe put up a bit more of a fight and spoil Josh's party? Or do you think Beastie has the speed to come through? Let me know your predictions. Who do you think is going to win this race? We've only got 7 laps to go. Late safety car, and hopefully these guys at the back will be able to catch up on this lap, and we'll be able to get going for lap 21 and have 7 full laps of racing ahead of us, but it might be 6. We'll have to see. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think these guys might be able to catch up. Oh, Beastie's left the session. We've had a bit of a... I don't know if the lobby's glitched or something. So it looks like the lobby's glitched and it's given... Oh man, this game. Always like this towards the end of a Codemasters game. So this could be the result with only 7 laps to go. We will have to see what happens. Or I've just been dropped. Let's see. Right, let me see if I can get back in. If they're still going. I don't know if they are. Okay, I think it was me that got dropped. Let's see if I can rejoin. Trying to rejoin now. Oh man. Codemasters games. Not had a problem all season, but it does tend to be towards the end of the current game. We're building up towards a new one. You just get more and more server issues. Let me see if I can get back in. I do apologise for this. Let's see if I can get back in. Right, okay. I've managed to join back in, so it was me that got dropped. We're on lap 22 of 27. We are racing again. Let's just pull up all the information that we need. Oh no! So JoshGillie's been given a drive-through. We've just seen that on the stream. So JoshGillie has been given a drive-through penalty. Oh no! What's happened? Oh, we've missed some drama. So Baggins will probably have the lead of this race. Johan is in third. Fine Waldo is up into fourth. Danny is down into fifth. Jack Mack is in sixth. Little Chaz is in seventh. Beastie is up to eighth. Now up into seventh. He makes a move on Little Chaz. Nomad is in ninth. Gushek is in 10th. AJ Fox is in 11th, really pressuring the back of Gushek. And Paws Neon is in 12th. Resgo has DNF'd. Sorry for not so grumpy Dwarf. Sorry, but Resgo has DNF'd. Although I think he might have done before. No, I don't think he did. No. So obviously something's happened. KJ Fox goes up for a move up the inside of Gushek. Will Paws Neon go for one as well? No, he's not quite alongside enough. But disaster for JoshGillie, who's in the lead of this race. And something has happened whilst we lost pictures. And he has been given a drive-through penalty. And he will have to finish that. He will have to do that within 3 laps of getting it. And if he got it on lap 21, he's probably going to be after taking it soon. No, not this one. He's going to want to try and build up as much of a gap as possible. But this is an absolute nightmare for the Williams driver. And that will maybe give Baggins the win. He currently has no time penalties. Johan has 6 behind, so that's not good for him. And that means Fine Waldo could be finishing second in this race if he keeps it on the track and in facing the right way and without any damage. It looks like whatever's happened at the start there, Josh has been given a drive-through. Danny's fallen down and Waldo is up into 4th. So a fantastic drive there from the AlphaTauri driver as JoshGillie is really putting the hammer down now. 2.1 seconds. Really want to try and make, whenever he comes in for this drive-through penalty, really needs to make sure that he builds up as much of a gap as possible to negate as much of the penalty as possible. And it looks like the field is spreading out a little bit now, but it's difficult when you get DRS and then everyone's kind of just within a second of each other and they all keep kind of having the DRS. It means the guy at the front, it's really hard for them to pull away, sorry. What will JoshGillie do? Where will he come out when he takes this penalty? Is he coming in now? Is he coming in this lap? Yes, he is. So JoshGillie comes into the pits to take his drive-through penalty. We don't know what's happened. I don't know if there's been an incident behind the safety car. Maybe he's hit the safety car or something. I don't know. But here he is, that slow drive through the pit. Baggins now up into the lead. Only half a second behind him is Johan. He seems to be closing the gap, but he has 6 seconds of penalties. And Fine Waldo is up into 3rd. And Beastie will have seen JoshGillie's name tumbled past his. And JoshGillie comes out in 11th. 11th place, out of the points. And crucially, Beastie is ahead and there's only 3 laps to go. What looked like a certain win for JoshGillie has turned into an utter nightmare. Baggins now is in the lead of the race. I don't think Baggins has won a race in HLR before. I might get told off if that's not the case. But as Johan moves up the inside to take the lead on the track, he has 9 seconds of penalties now, so Johan needs to keep it clean if he wants to get any reward from overtaking Baggins. And I think if Baggins oh no, and he spun it, so that traction zone, that really hard traction zone, is off camber. Oh, and there's a big contact there between Danny and Baggins. I'm surprised Danny doesn't have any wing damage from that, because that looks like a fairly hefty thump. But Baggins with DRS makes his way past Waldo to retake the lead. Danny manages to get past Waldo as well. Does Waldo dive up the inside? Oh, and he's been given a 3-second time penalty. So Waldo just trying to stay on the inside. Picks up that 3 seconds now. So that was not a good outcome for Waldo. I think if Waldo was thinking a little bit more strategically, he would have just kept behind Danny. Just decided not to make that move, keep it within the white lines to be able definitely be able to take second place. But now he is level on time penalties with Danny, so we'll have to do the work on track, and that's going to be very hard to do because Jack Mack is all over the back of him. Only 3/10 now is the Williams driver. JoshGillie's teammate looking to regain some honour from what's happened there, but JoshGillie is up into 9th already, so JoshGillie up into the points, and he's only 6 seconds behind Beastie. I don't know, is he quick enough? Is he quicker enough than Beastie to be able to get ahead of him and make up 6 seconds in 2 laps? I don't know. Unless Beastie has an issue, but I don't know. But look at this. 2nd to 7th have time penalties as we go into the final lap of the race. Baggins, who has no time penalties, has the advantage over these guys. All he needs to do really is keep it within the white lines. If someone passes him and someone passes him, it shouldn't be a problem. All he needs to do is keep it within those white lines, keep it nice and tidy, and he will have his first win in HLR. But it's easier said than done when you've got a Mercedes bearing down on the back of you and making moves on you, past you, like he has done there. So Danny up into first on track, will want to take the honour of becoming first across the line on track, but those time penalties will drop him back. So Baggins looks set. If he can just keep it in those white lines, it'll be fine. But look at this. Fine Waldo, 3 seconds of penalties. Jack Mack, 12 seconds. Nomad, 9 seconds. Little Chaz, 6 seconds. Johan, 9 seconds. And Beastie is only 2.2 behind. I don't know if anyone's good at maths. I'm certainly not. But he could regain quite a lot of those positions back. So Beastie will want to be keeping it within those lines. Same with Josh as well, as Johan's been given another 3 seconds. So 12 seconds now in total between as we... there's been a massive incident there. Nomad is in the wall. So is that Danny is in the wall? Yes, Danny's in the wall. And Nomad's in the wall. Something's happened there between these guys on the final lap as they've crossed the line. Baggins takes the win. Danny takes 2nd place. Fine Waldo takes 3rd. Beastie jumps up to 4th after everyone's had those time penalties and that incident across the line. Little Chaz finishes in 5th. JoshGillie finishes in 6th. Nomad finishes in 7th. Jack Mack in 8th. Johan in 9th, Gushek in 10th, and KJ Fox in 11th, and Paul's Neon now crossing the line in 12th. I completely forgot it was the last lap of the race, even though, I forgot, but there we go. So game's driver of the day, Fine Waldo. Fantastic drive from near the back of the grid for Fine Waldo, but Baggins in the Haas takes his first HLR victory, and that will do Haas a lot of good in the drivers' standings. 2nd is Danny, and 3rd, Find Waldo. Not so Grumpy Dwarf says, need to sort your server out. Well, I don't have a server, so maybe that's the issue. I don't know. Or maybe it's the game. Just drop in random people. So there we go. There's our final standings, Baggins takes his first HLR victory in the Haas. LRT Danny finishes second, and what Find Waldo rounding out the podium in third. Beastie managed to claw back a dreadful start to the race and somehow manages to finish in fourth. Little Chaz crosses the line in fifth, and JoshGillie manages to recover some points but still loses out on points to Beastie. Finishes in sixth. Nomad in seventh, Jack Mack in eighth, Johan in ninth, and Gushek running at the top 10. So there we go. There was our race. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been quite a good race. Apologies again for dropping out. Don't normally drop out of servers. My stream is in excellent condition. My Wi-Fi seems fine. So I'm not quite sure what's happened there. But that's 2 weeks on the bounce now. So I'll have to have a look at something. But there we go. That was our race. I hope you've enjoyed it. For those of you who have watched live, thank you very much for watching live and sticking with us. For those of you who are watching this back afterwards, thank you for watching. Please do like the video and subscribe to HLR. We've got 2 more races coming up. Next week we are in Britain, and then the week afterwards our final race is in Brazil. Beastie and JoshGillie are going at it for the championship. It's pretty close between them. Racing's been really good, really clean for the most part. I think actually today the racing was quite clean. I didn't really see too many incidents, which was really good. So I'm looking forward to that. Next week at 7:30 p.m. BST. 7:30 p.m. next Saturday BST. Yes, should be a good race. I'm sure it will. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Canadian Grand Prix qualified if you're going to watch that now. It should be a good race as well over the weekend, and I will see you next time.